7B, welcome back. Very less participants and late joining is taking place once again. If this continues, then things will not go well. So I am once again requesting everyone to come for the classes and attend the class and give it the due importance. Okay, yes, Australia, that was an interesting fact that each state is named after a stadium there. Thank you for this sharing this fact. And
Ma'am, did you see New Zealand versus England?
did I see?
New Zealand
Ma'am,
versus England.
I saw Pakistan
I know
versus
the
Australia.
scores and everything, but I haven't sat down and watched.
Matthew Wade OP.
See, boy,
I know the score. I know what is happening because my father is a very big cricket
I am supporting.
I told them given
I am
them
supporting New Zealand. I am supporting New Zealand.
And now the
support
problem is
New Zealand from
they
the
don't
first
have
High five.
Australia do not have any title.
High
Even
five,
if
but
anyone
losing
wins, India, it will not be said that is the only country that have won two titles.
Nine.
Everyone should at a time.
আরে চুপ বসা
6,
Countdown for the bomb to blast.
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now adda time over. Okay, I understand. I do watch the means I get to know the scores and I do keep a track, but then I did not sit and watch any more matches. Whenever I sit, there is India was there was an out and all. So I have now come back to just knowing the scores. And from Australia, we are coming to Africa. Next Friday, today is Friday, next Friday, what is the date? Oh my God, November is almost towards its end. So that is 19th. Okay, there will be a map assessment that you will be giving. In that map assessment, all of you at home go through, practice and learn the physical map of Africa. Physical division. See, earlier had it been in school, we would have made you do atlas reading plus map pointing. Map pointing means when you are drawing on the map itself, and we tell you to draw on the map. For that, you have 10 full marks, which is a compulsory marks in class 7 exam. In class
How can we draw the exact states, exact countries of the
Can I
Africa?
finish? Can I finish? So all of you get 10 marks full in your exam, summatives only. 7 summatives, 8 summatives, 9 summatives, and definitely in 10 board. 10 you have India. So you get map pointing where you have to draw and label the features that are told to you. Here we are not able to send you the map across so that you can do the map pointing work, but we will do map reading. So all of you will practice the physical map of Africa. You never get political maps. The physical map, physical divisions map with latitudes, longitudes.
Ma'am, can we learn from the atlas or from Google or from
Absolutely,
Google Earth?
Absolutely. Atlas, or you can learn it from your
Google Earth.
Google Earth you can use, but you won't get the features.
again high five talk
Labels are not there.
You can use your
Oh
books.
yes.
Political map. I'll send you a fun paper. You can solve it for your own fun, but then that we are not testing you on that. You don't get political maps.
Ma'am, but still send it. I like political.
Okay, Shubhayam, 1 minute. Of course,
Ma'am,
I'll send you one fun map. You all
Ma'am,
can
can you
solve
please
it.
Ma'am, can you please send us a PDF with the countries and their capitals of Africa?
That is there in your book itself.
No, ma'am, that's very difficult to read.
That is difficult to read.
No, ma'am, I don't want the atlas also.
How is that
It is
difficult
there
to
in
read?
Atlas only. Atlas and all whatever you get, so you can do that. So we are going to mainly focus on the
Search
physical
in
division.
internet, you'll get the full list.
Yes, you can always use your atlas, and or there is in your book also the countries and all. I can send you a map where you can label the countries. I made the others solve this paper as a practice paper just to know the countries. So I'll send you that practice worksheet. You all can do it at home. Now in physical divisions, very importantly, Sahara, Kalahari, Namib, these deserts, where are they located? Now, on a map, there it will be labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever it is. So you will have to identify what is 1, what is 2, and write down the names in your copy. That way will be your test. So learn firstly what I'm saying, take down. You are going to learn definitely the 3 deserts, Sahara, Kalahari, Namib. Atlas Mountains, Drakensberg. You can just put a tick mark in your physical map. Atlas Mountain, Drakensberg, Madagascar Island, and Mozambique Channel. Mozambique Channel is a small stream between Africa mainland and the Madagascar Island. This is physical map of Africa. You need to know
Will be in the reverse.
Did I finish?
And so what will be in the test?
This is the map reading test that you will have next week, Friday. So practice all this. Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, all the water bodies around Africa, Strait of Gibraltar, Atlas Mountains, Drakensberg, I already said. All the rivers that are there in your book map, very important. Congo, Nile, including the 2 streams of the Nile. I may include the main Nile River. Please note this. This part is the, Nile River, which is joined and forms Nile.
Blue Nile and White Nile.
Blue and White Nile. So White Nile and Blue Nile, you need to know this. These are 2 tributaries of Nile. Next week, 19th, you will be having this test. Okay, Lake Chad, Lake Tanganyika, and Lake Victoria, very important. These 3 lakes are very important. Ethiopian Highlands, definitely important. And, what are the 3 important latitudes passing through Africa? You can also, okay, what is the only land that is connecting Africa to any other land? That is Isthmus of Suez. Isthmus of Suez. This is Isthmus of Suez. So all these smaller features, or what is lying to the west, which continent to the east of Africa, which water body to the west of Africa, these things. No, I'm not saying you have to mug up the country names. No, you don't even, this is not only for class 7, class 8, 9, 10, whatever, till 10 at least you will have to do geography. Geography is compulsory. You get to select between others. History, geography, English, Bengali are compulsory. In class 8, you get to select other subjects for 9 and 10. So hence, again reminding, if you want to get the subjects of your choice, buck up from now on, because 7th final and 8th first term is given a lot of importance while you select your subjects in class 8 for class 9 and 10. Now, political map does not come usually telling you to mark a state or country like that, but many a times in India, you need to mark a state for a different reason. Maybe where rice is grown, or mark a point where iron is found. That goes for India, but usually it is always physical map. So get used to Africa's physical map. Do map practice as much as possible within this 1 week. Clear? Am I clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay.
we need to know the name of all the rivers.
Yes, ma'am.
Where are they?
Yes, all the rivers means Nile, definitely important. Niger, Congo, Zambezi, Orange. Yes. Which is which river? You need to know this. I can tell you to label anyone, means you are not drawing anymore now. I will give you a map which is drawn and pre-described, and I'll tell you to identify and give the correct labeling. It will be a small test. It might seem a very small test, but if you do a wrong identification, you have to identify what is it and write the names. If you do a wrong identification, then marks will be deducted. Understood? So practice the physical maps. All water bodies around Africa is also included. Mediterranean, Red, Indian Ocean, Mozambique Channel, all the things. Cape of Good Hope. If I give you a point at the end of Africa, Cape of Good Hope, Cape Horn is for South America, and you have Cape of Good Hope as the smallest point. The last the bit point at the end of Africa, anything might come and you have to identify it. Yes, Shubhayan?
And this is a question of the political map in the political map just south of Morocco, there is actually a country called Western Sahara, but it is actually recognized by only few countries that it is a separate independent
Political
country.
disputes is there, yes.
Yes, but
I have
but
heard.
will we learn it or will we just
that
part-
much details of political divisions not needed. As I said, as it is, political map will not come. You will get a physical map only. Okay, very important, Mount Kilimanjaro. If I give you to identify a peak, how you identify the peak is also important. Mount Kilimanjaro. So all this, and among the lakes, Lake Tanganyika, Lake Victoria, Lake Chad, all three are very important.
Lake Nasser?
Not so important. You can see through it. But then these lakes are very important.
Can you repeat the lake?
Lake Tanganyika, Lake Chad, Lake Victoria. These lakes are very important. Strait of Gibraltar, and or I can, Strait of Gibraltar separating which two continents, like that. You need to know these features of the physical map of Africa. Next Friday. Okay, now since we have more or less done the physical divisions, I would like to discuss with you all today about the vegetation of Africa a little bit. 1 minute. Oh, sorry. What happened? Oh, now, okay. Can you all see this map?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can it be any bigger? Good. So now Africa as a continent is the second largest and it is huge in size. And this continent of Africa has vegetation which is lush green, evergreen. We call it evergreen, means throughout the year, these areas remain covered in greenery, from evergreen to dry thorn vegetation. Everything is seen in the continent of Africa. It is a continent of varying natural vegetation. If ever you get a question, what is the difference between natural vegetation and agriculture? Agriculture is when we are growing any type of plant for, in a planned way with the purpose of using the crops, or with the purpose of using what the plant is giving back to us for selling in the market, personal benefit, eating, anything. Natural vegetation is when plants and trees are mostly growing naturally in the natural environment of the region. So that is natural vegetation. Okay, and when any plant or tree or anything grows naturally in the natural environment of the region, following the climate, the soil, whatever is available naturally, that is natural vegetation. But when man is growing anything, trees, plants, anything, in a planned way, it can be artificially also. It may not be a native plant to that region, but man has learned the technique of how to grow it in that climate. Like tea. Tea initially was not a part of India, but tea has now come to India and everywhere it is cultivated. Potatoes were not usually found in India, but it has been brought to India and it has been cultivated.
India is the largest exporter of tea.
Tea, absolutely. So when man is growing crops in its growing plants in a planned way for using the outputs from the received from the plant for their own benefit, we call it agriculture. Okay, so this is a difference between agriculture and natural vegetation. So natural vegetation of Africa varies from lush, evergreen, tropical rainforests to the thorny deserts. Now, middle part of Africa, absolutely the middle part of Africa is which latitude is passing through that? More or less middle part? The equator. Very good.
Ma'am,
Very, very
India is
good.
not the largest exporter of tea. It's saying that India is fourth.
India is
First China, then
is fourth. India has become fourth. India
No,
used
no,
to
no,
be
no. It's first.
India used
Oh,
to be
check
the
Google
largest.
them.
Okay, then I will check the
Why
website.
check Google?
Because yeah, there are variations that are found, but India is one of the leading producers of tea. Absolutely, that is true. Tea, and another leading producer is it is in jute. Jute is something that is very
In
much
Bengal,
found.
it is found.
Yeah, it is very much found in India, and a little bit in Bangladesh region you will find that. Okay, now yes, this region that is around the equator, that is around the equator, we call it rainforest. What is a rainforest? It's a forest that exists in this region because this region receives a lot of rainfall. Remember, starting from the middle of Africa, as you grow up and as you go down, you will find desert type of vegetation. So in the middle part, you actually get the lush green evergreen forests. These forests are called evergreen because the trees of the forest do not shed their leaves all together at a time, because the region is receiving rainfall throughout the year. This is so hot a region. There's a lot of evaporation taking place from this region. And due to high evaporation, from water bodies surrounding the region, around the equator, maximum insolation, sunlight is maximum. So it's very hot. So because of so much of sunlight, it is very hot. And since it is very hot, there's a lot of evaporation taking place from the water bodies during the daytime. And during the afternoons, these regions more or less receive rainfall very frequently. There is a very famous saying called 4 o'clock rainfall that happens in the Amazon region. Here also you will see, the equatorial region, the area around Congo River. Congo has if you see can you all see the Congo River in your book? The Congo River. The Congo River area, the area around the Congo River is an equatorial rainforest. This region has the second largest equatorial rainforest after the Amazon. Amazon being the largest in South America, you have read in class 6. So this is the second largest in the world, which is a rainforest having lush green vegetation.
But the oldest oldest rainforest is found in Indonesia. Oldest.
Okay. But Indonesia has very little area. It is a very small country. I'm saying this is the second largest. Yes, evergreen, the name evergreen comes because you can write it down. The trees do not shed their leaves all together at the same time. Some leaves are falling immediately, some new leaves are also coming out. Since there is so much of water vapor in the atmosphere and such a frequent rainfall takes place, this area, the trees do not need to, there is no lack of water. Hence, the trees do not need to shed their leaves to save water anymore. That is why any forest is called an evergreen forest. Now, as you move up and down from this evergreen forest region around the Congo River, you find the tropical trees are also known by, this is important. The tropical tree, the rainforest region is also known by the name of selvas in Africa. Now, as you move up and down, both north and south from this region, rainfall is decreasing. So middle part, maximum rainfall around equator. Moving north and south, as you move further, rainfall is decreasing. But this region is quite warm, quite hot between the tropics. Now, when rainfall reduces, the growth of trees becomes less. There are less number of trees found. More grasslands are seen. Wherever there is a lot of rainfall, usually tree and vegetation in different levels and creepers and climbers and all will be found. Moving up and down from the equator, as you move north and south, vegetation is rainfall is decreasing, and from forests, you are moving to grasslands. Now, these grasslands are initially around the two tropics, the grasslands are called tropical grasslands. They have tall grasses. The main feature of tropical grasslands is the grasses are very tall in height. Have you seen the movie Lion King?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Heard of it? So the lions hide behind those tall grasses. Have you seen in Africa? It is all of
From
Africa.
savannah.
The savannah, absolutely. The grasses are not very small grasses that we see in our nearby fields. The grasses are very tall, and the lions actually hide behind those grasses, waiting for their prey. There are few tall trees where giraffes and all get to eat, and this savannah region. What? I did not get the question.
Ma'am, did you see the movie Chadar Pahad?
No, yes. I have read the book also. Very true.
There was-
Chadir Pahad also is in savannah region. Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. They was
A lot of
they also
lions.
saw it.
Lot of lions are found in this region, and this is one region which is very famous, which has made helped Africa develop its economy by promoting wildlife tourism. I want to go on a
Tourism.
wildlife tourism trip here. This is one thing that I definitely want to do. Wildlife. So
I have went to Sundarban.
You went to Sundarban.
Me too,
Wonderful.
me too, me too.
I would like, if the class ends, I'd like you all to join for 5 minutes. I'll just finish today the vegetation part only. Okay, wait. Okay, savannah.
It is the largest savanna in the world.
This is known as prairies. Prairies you see the savannah has tall grasses like this. The grasses are even taller in many regions, and you will find a lot of
Golden color.
and less the golden color when it is dry, when the summer season is stepping in. These regions have less number of trees because it is a region that receives much less rainfall than equatorial rainforests. Equatorial rainforests are the region that receives the maximum rainfall. Compared to that, less rainfall in this region. Now, another thing is, as you move a little bit more south, crossing the Tropic of Capricorn, you will find the Drakensberg mountain there. The area in the southeastern part, the Drakensbergs and that area beyond Tropic of Capricorn, you have a small region. You have the region, you see the light greenish color. In these regions, children, the temperature is falling. Here, rainfall is also reducing, plus temperature is also decreasing, because now from the torrid zone, we are moving to the temperate zone. Temperature is falling, moisture, that is amount of water vapor in the atmosphere, that is also reducing. Hence, you find temperate grasslands here. Difference between savanna and the temperate grasslands is that the temperate grasslands are called veld. Is that here the height of the grasses is shorter. It is shorter because these regions receive even less rainfall, and savanna, the climate that it receives more sunlight, so it is warmer. It is hotter there. But in temperate grasslands, they are comparatively cooler climate. It falls in the temperate zone, heat zone. Hence, this type, it is called the veld. So many times, very common question, what is the difference between savanna and veld? Or savanna and veld are both grasslands. Then why, how can you differentiate between them? Or why two different names, or any way of differentiation can be asked. All right. And as you move absolutely up and down, so in the upper part and the down, absolute south part, you have the two dry desert. So the least rainfall is experienced in these two regions, which has the deserts, Sahara, Kalahari, and Namib. Is that all right? And other means here, mixed, some type of vegetation is found. This is in this map. So a different, so these are the major ones. Is vegetation clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Starting from the middle, maximum rainfall, evergreen forests, forest lands, which is fully covered in greenery throughout the year because the trees don't shed their leaves all together at the same time. Around the Congo, the second largest evergreen forest. Two sides around the tropics, in the hot torrid zone only, or in the tropical region. At the two grasslands, rainfall decreases up and down of the rainforest. So you have the tropical grasslands, tall grasses, high temperature, less moisture, tall grasses, less number of trees. Beyond that, especially in the south, since the Drakensberg gives it a little bit of more height. Okay, so with altitude, temperature falls. So there's a height. So you have temperate grasslands. Grasses are shorter. You have thorny, you have shrubs and bushes, shorter grasses are found. So the two sides, temperate grasslands, and absolutely north and south, the two deserts, you have desert type of vegetation, very thorny scrubs, little bit thorn. Then you have a cactus or desert trees that can survive long time without any rainfall. All right, so I think, okay, rainfall, this part is over. I don't think I need to make you rejoin. Next day, we will do rivers and then go into resources. By then, your projects should be